All right, Annette, you made it.
I
I
made
made.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm
I'm
good.
good.
How are you?
Excellent, excellent. So now you have a new product that you want to take to the government.
I
I
do.
do.
Okay. Now, what makes you believe that they want this product?
Well,
Well,
our
our
children.
children.
See, I
See,
got
I
the
got the
feedback.
feedback.
Let me turn mine down. Okay.
Um,
Um,
Still
Still
feedback.
feedback.
Yeah.
But there
But
are
there are
children
children
all over
all
the
over the
world.
world.
Literacy is
Literacy is
very
very
important.
important.
So
So
I have
I have
products
products
that
that
centers
centers
around
around
reading
reading
and
and
being
being
ready.
ready.
So
So
that's
that's
always
always
going
going
to
to.
be something that's needed, especially with the new generation of children that's coming up. So, hospitals, schools, mom and pop stores, all around, it's literacy, it's important, it's needed.
So you're just saying that you believe it's needed, so that's why you want to push it to them.
Well, yeah, that's my answer for now. Or you could give me a new one.
No. Again, that's why I said for you to come up specifically so we can have a conversation, right? And not like, thank you. I put the echo cancellation back on. Just anyone else. Thanks for the feedback, everyone on the audio. No, so the thing about the government is, unfortunately, because they do have budgets, right? That comes from Congress and it's come down. They have monies appropriated for certain things. So there's definitely a way to take. So everybody says, "What's her product?" She has children's books that she wants to sell to the government. All right.
And
Well, let's stick with children's one thing. Let's do one
okay.
thing for now, right? So let's just stick with yeah, because we'll talk about children's books. Um, so what happens is when the government makes all these appropriations for monies, they are determining where those monies are going towards, right? So they already have like destinations of where this money should flow, and they have like objectives for what do they want to see done with the money. So then, for me, what I would recommend is find out how your children's books can help them accomplish one of their objectives. So sometimes, like you said, we've seen projects where, for example, I've got a buddy of mine right now. He's got a contract in Puerto Rico, and his contract in Puerto Rico is to help provide literacy and education to like women in shelters. But I think that's more along like hygienes and sexual education and things like that. Like right, things that I guess just education on women in general about proper hygiene and contraceptives and things like that. So for you, what you want to do is find a way that you can tie into solving a issue that doesn't necessarily where they're not necessarily calling out children's books, but where like that is the solution. And so what I would do was I would look for. Let me go up and pull it up. Share my screen a little bit. Let me just log in to Sam.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
I there's another link where you can see where the government have bought products. Like I can put in my next code and see where the government have bought children's toys, children's books.
Sure.
So that raised my eyebrow a little, like how did they do
Sure.
that?
And so now that's a different question, right? Because you said you want to take your books to the government, right? Now, if you want to sell them books that they're asking for, that's not the same thing. You see the difference? Like the government may be trying to buy children's books, but they have a specific brand, they have a specific name. It's kind of like here in Florida, we're banning books. So you can't just sell a banned book to Florida because they're not buying it. That's different than taking your specific books to the government. So what you're doing is you're trying to introduce a new product to the government. If you want to just look at what they're selling, then they're telling you specifically what kind of content they want in their children's books, but that's not your books. So that's not the same thing. You understand that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now if you want to do that, then yeah, of course, you could just look and see what children's books the government wants to buy, and then you can provide them with the books that they are requesting. But your question to me was, how do I take my specific books to them?
Right. Yeah.
That's
That's
different,
my specific
way
products.
different, because the government's not requesting your books.
Right.
so,
Right.
so that's not the same thing. All right. So now let's talk about what they are looking for. So now, one of the things that we teach, there's a couple of things that you could do. One is you can do unsolicited proposals, which is hard, not impossible, but it's hard. And so you could do unsolicited proposal to the government. But in order to do that, you would have to know like a need that they have. Um, the other thing is there are several opportunities that the government has. Um, One is called OTA, Other Transaction Authority. One is called CSO, Commercial Solutions Offering. And then there's a BAA, which is a Broad Agency Announcement. These are on SAM.gov, and you can look them up, type them in. Let me see if I can put this up here. Right. So you can literally type in OTA. You could type in CSO, right? You could type in these words. And the government, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong thing. Contract opportunities. All right. So if you type in CSO, you'll see here, it's called Commercial Solutions Openings, right? And so these CSOs, OTAs, BAAs, so what you'll see here are these are a type of contracts that the government is looking for solutions. And so they don't tell you what the solution is. So your children's book might just be a solution to solve one of their issues. So what they're saying is the government's saying, hey, we have this problem and we need a solution to this problem. So now what you're doing is you're going, okay, let's say your books, like you said, let's just say, for example, because I don't know that someone asked to context your books. I don't know them. But let's say your books were children's book that taught English literacy to ESOL students, Spanish students, right? And the government put out a requirement saying we're looking for books that talk to kids, K through 5, English literacy for ESOL students. Then you could offer your books as a solution. So in your case, because you're taking a new product to the government, you have to look at where they're expressing the needs for this, and then you can offer your stuff as a solution. So
Okay.
they're not necessarily going to say like your book. They're just going to say we need a book that solves this, and then you can offer your book as a solution.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are the three places that I would recommend. Right.
Do I do the same thing with toys?
You do the same thing with anything that you're trying to take new to the government.
Okay.
Anything that you're trying to take new, you have to solve a need, because the government's only funding needs. They don't fund ideas. That's what the private sector does. So they give you grants for ideas, but again, the ideas that they fund grants to are still to try to provide solutions to solve, issues that we have in the government. So like we want climate change. So if your toys solve like climate change issues, then they would give you a grant to prevent your toys to the government. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's how we work. So it's just not like, hey, come buy my books because we want books. It's more like we have a need to provide education to all the kids in Michigan, and we don't have a book that talks on these subjects. Oh, my book addresses these subjects. That's what they do. So I would look there in those three places, and then I would look on the Grants.gov site and see if they're requesting any grant applications for providing new type of educational materials to students.
Grants.gov. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a tedious site.
all of it. But
Because
that, you really think you're just gonna walk in there and give somebody your stuff and say, "Yeah, I'll buy it. Here's $10." Is that what y'all think?
oh boy,
That's what y'all
yeah.
think. This is it. See, that's why we have Wednesdays. Why you don't have a contract? Because people think, "Oh, I'm gonna call one person. They're gonna say, "Oh yeah, we want all your books," and then sell them. I
Don't
make
work that. It's not
oh,
that easy.
it's not that easy. It's not that easy. No, it's not that easy, unfortunately. But we do have. I will share this link with everybody because someone just asked me about it. So we do have here. I'll share the link for everyone looking at it. But yes, so all the things that I've mentioned are right here: OTA, CSOs, and BAAs. All right. So I address this for IT companies because a lot of times IT companies don't have they're looking at like smaller people or trying to solve problems. So I do recommend this but again, we do have a video about how to take a new product to market. But these are some places where you can start doing some research. There are some more high level things you could do, but they're complex. So I'd start here. You got homework. I'm going to give y'all homework, just so you know. I'm giving everybody homework.
That was GovCon Giants.
I just put the link in there.
I don't
Okay.
see what I'm looking. I'm
Screenshot.
in the StreamYard link, so I can't see anything.
Oh, well, that's okay. When you come back down to the audience, you'll be able to see it. But the link is inside of your StreamYard. It's inside your chat. Here, you want me to send it to you?
I guess I have to. Do I have to log in?
No. You're watching. Aren't you watching us online?
I'm watching, yeah, on my computer, but I'm straight on StreamYard, but I don't see anything.
Okay. Well, when you get back down to the audience, you should see the link.
Oh, wait a minute. I was on comments. I mean, private chat.
That's it. The meter chat, but she put it in. There you go. All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for coming up. Let me go solve somebody else's issues today. I'm happy we got a chance to mate because you kept messaging. Like, come on up and talk. Because obviously I can't type all that stuff as you see. Like that's why I was like, look, come up and let's just have a conversation. All right,
That's
love.
better. Bye.
Take care. Have a good night.